At it again, and we got to talk about Scott Jennings and CNN because, Scott Jennings is like the only guy on left-wing media, basically, that just off the top of my head that I could think of. I can't think of anybody else just off the top of my head. I'm sure there is somebody else, and I'm just forgetting. But Scott Jennings has been on a tear lately, and he's still on a tear. And he absolutely made the panel on CNN lose their ever-loving minds. Not once, but twice. I got two clips I want to show you guys with Scott Jennings, and it's absolutely hilarious. It's so funny watching the left-wing media just lose it. Just absolutely lose it. And watching Scott Jennings, I think he's trying to, help them, come through, but he realizes, at one point, he realizes, there's really no helping these folks. They're just lost in the sauce. So I might as well just let them just drown in it, right? Just drown in it. Republicans will just continue to win. So with that being said, let's dive in.
Look, if you look at the arc of the Biden presidency, he was in really good shape until August of 2021. When Afghanistan happened, he went under 40, she went under 40, and they really lived there until the end of the He's still there.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because he ran and told us that the adults were back in charge, and that was the opposite.
Yeah, they
of
were
that.
because Donald Trump was a child.
And you know what else?
Yeah.
And you know what else? The fact that they wouldn't give these 13 service members' families the time of
bullshit,
day.
Dude.
The time of day.
I'm sorry, but Donald Trump hates veterans. He called them suckers and losers. He did. He absolutely, he has his whole life. He has his entire life.
I know you're super emotional. I just.
Of course I am. I'm terrified.
I'm telling you the political.
I'm sorry. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. My goodness. Of course, I'm terrified. And you know what's ironic? It's funny how he called Trump a child, but yet he's the one acting like a child. This guy literally just cursed on national television. Just cursed. And he can't even sit quiet long enough to let Scott Jennings finish. He just continually interrupts just like a child does, right? Anybody with kids knows, kids don't completely understand, so you don't blame them, right? They're just kids, but they're always interrupting conversations. Mom, dad, kind of deal. You're mid-conversation. Dad. That's exactly what he's doing, but Trump is the child. I'm terrified, even though Trump's already been president before. I'm terrified. It's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. Let's jump back in, though.
Political reality is that when they made that decision,
it doesn't matter. But you don't admit
that
Donald Trump hates veterans. You don't admit it. You deny a man, Chief John Kelly, a Marine. You say he lied.
You're still campaigning.
You say he lied. It's not over. It'll never be over.
I want to hear what
It'll never be over. You wish.
The political reality is when they made that decision and everyone realized, oh my gosh, these aren't the competent adults that we were promised.
Donald Trump is.
And then when you pile on top of it the decisions that made inflation worse, it was a compounding interest of political crap over time that they could never get out of. And that's how she lost the race.
There was a bipartisan consensus to get out of Afghanistan. That wasn't the point. It was the way it was
Trump's
done.
decision to get out.
No, hold on. It was the implementation. It was the fact that they took out our soldiers first instead of last, which is you would think would be common sense. And again, it's like you said, we thought the adults were in the room. That's why people voted for Biden. A return to normalcy, a return to competence. He's a lifelong public servant. We thought we're going to get normal, we're going to get competent. And that's what it's about.
We did. And if in the veterans community,
Afghanistan doesn't signal that.
The wars in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq, the Republican policies that led to those wars, the idea that Joe Biden made the final difficult decision, and his administration and his military leaders. I mean, you guys live on the tippy top of bullshit mountain. If you actually think that so many people think that the pullout of Afghanistan was the pivot point, are you kidding me?
I mean, I can read a chart and I can read a poll poll. I guess you can't. But the reality is when he made that decision.
Your petty insults are so weak, dude. You have no idea. Like, I don't even understand if you hear yourself talking.
Look,
you can laugh all you want, but like, I can't read a chart. Like, it's
just a second.
It's so hacky. It's so uninteresting.
Look, the reason that we brought this up is.
I don't even know who this dude is. I think it said he's like some kind of comedian or something, which I don't know why CNN has him on there. Let me see if it, Pete Dominic, daily podcast host. So I guess he's a podcaster. Goodness gracious. Well, it also says he's a comedian. So yeah, I don't know. Whatever. He's terrible. Absolutely garbage. CNN, I don't know why you brought him on, but that guy is terrible. He's cursing on national television, right? Which is the first no-go. And he continually interrupts. Like the guy can't just shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. Like, just be quiet. But Trump is the child. But, like, every time Scott Jennings opens his mouth and you disagree, like, but Trump bad. Like, just shut up. Like, let him speak. Have some respect. But that doesn't exist to people like that, you know? Because Trump bad. Like that's the only thing that they go to. That's their whole center of the universe. Trump bad. And they're always and continually in denial. But hey, keep it up. You know, that's what I have to that's what I have to say to those folks. Keep it up, because Republicans will win again in 2028. Keep it up. And I love how Scott Jennings called about it. He was like, "You're still campaigning. It's over, buddy." Like, I just thought that was so funny. You're still campaigning. It's over, buddy. Let's move on to the next clip. Check it out.
Just to go back to Susie for a second, the fact that he got to this first and the fact that she is going to have, influence over how the rest of this transition unfolds, whether it's picking attorney general or any of these other high-level positions, I think we ought to all look at this as a wise decision, a good decision, and for everybody out there wanting Trump to pivot or change or somehow whatever you want him to do, he just won a mandate from the American people to execute on the program that he laid out in this election. It wasn't particularly close. And I think he ought to put people in place who are going to do it. That's what the people are asking for.
Who will go after his enemies? I mean, that's
not what he ran on.
Yes, he did. It is explicitly
That's not what he ran on. That's not what he ran on.
Look at what he said in the past week. He literally said that he was going to exact vengeance.
You still don't understand how you lost. He ran on immigration.
Don't say me. I'm not a Democrat.
He ran on immigration.
You see his face? He was like, please. N-word, please. Like, stop it. Like, you know you're a Democrat. We know you're a Democrat. It's clear to see. Like, we're not blind bats, okay? Man, I'm loving Scott Jennings more and more, man. This guy is on point. And he's just speaking the truth. While they're just like in la-la land, in delusion. Like, I'm not a Democrat. Like, what? You're clearly a Democrat. I will guarantee that you voted for Kamala. You're a Democrat. But you just sat there. I'm not a Democrat. I gotta run that back. And play Scott Jennings' face.
Going to exact vengeance.
You still don't understand how you lost. He ran on immigration.
Don't say me. I'm not a Democrat.
He ran on immigration.
I'm a journalist.
He ran on inflation.
I'm not here paid
to represent one of the many things he ran on in addition to.
He ran on the issues that people care about. He ran on the economy. He ran on
nobody's saying that he didn't run on those things, but he also ran on vengeance.
Yes.
He did also run on going after the people who went after him.
Oh, so she admitted it. There are people that went after him. Okay. I just wanted y'all to I didn't want that to just blow over people's heads. So she admitted that they went after him. So it's now wrong for him to spin the block. Kind of interesting how that works. It's cool if they do it, but it's a problem if Trump does it. It's okay for them to go after their political opponent, but the even the mention of Trump doing it, it's a major problem. It's cool if they do it, but it's a problem if Trump does it. It's a problem if he spin the block. You know what? I'm tired of it. I hope Trump does spin the block. I hope Trump does throw all these folks in prison. Now, they actually committed the real crimes. Trump didn't commit any crimes. These folks committed crimes. Obama killed an American citizen. We all know about Hillary Clinton's skeletons. Nancy Pelosi, them insider trading. Ain't no way on her salary is she going to amass a net worth of over $200 million. There's no way. Ain't no way. Listen. I mean, if she's that smart when it comes to stocks, I will pay Nancy Pelosi a year's worth of my salary to get her secrets, because I know I'm going to be rich as a mother lover. Because I'm taking that same knowledge into everything, because she's like a genie or something, if that's the case. But we all know what's happening. It's insider trading. She has the secrets because she's been in Congress her entire life, and that's how she's doing it, in my humble opinion. Allegedly, of course. All this is allegedly. I gotta add that in there, okay? But yeah, so I hope all these folks are thrown in prison. Throw them all in prison. Spin the block, Trump. Spin it.
And journalists.
It was a key feature of all of his speeches.
Yes, Scott, he literally said, I am your retribution. The Biden crime family, lock her up. Went after Sessions repeatedly for not doing what he wanted Sessions to do, which was to indict Hillary or whoever he wanted to indict.
You can want his campaign to have been about, tax reform and things like that. That is not what he said on the stump. Time after time after time. Also, he talked about going after his enemies.
I'm heartened by the fact that the left still cannot figure this out.
Even if you just take the January 6th.
Bro, that's why I'm loving Scott Jennings, bro. Did y'all hear that? He was like, I'm loving the fact that the left still can't figure this out. It's a good sign. Bro, this is so hilarious, man. And I know I'm talking a lot, but with all of their fearmonger, Trump said he's going to go after his political opponents. Well, looks like most of Americans agree with that statement. So if that was Trump's platform, as they claim it is, most Americans voted for him to do just that. I mean, he got a sweeping win. So, yeah. I want to play that piece back again with Scott Jennings.
Going after his enemies.
I'm heartened by the fact that the left still cannot figure this out.
Even if you just take the January 6th part of it, he made that a big part of his campaign, that he would, if he were in power, pardon those people. You can't say that was not on the agenda. It absolutely was.
What was the campaign about? Why did tens
but do you
of
think
millions
that he's
going to
do those other things when it comes to the Department of Justice?
I don't know what he's going to do. I'm not.
A big part of the campaign was being a victim. Like, that was a big part of it, was his victimhood. They're coming for you, but they're going to have to get through me. That was his whole line. That is all about the enemies list. That is all.
I totally disagree.
The deep state. This is the stuff that he talked about on the stump. Unless you just don't want to listen to him. Those are his own words.
I listen plenty.
Scott, if you believe that people who violated the Capitol on January 6th committed a crime, which I would hope you would, because they weren't invited in the way they claimed they were, right? They were not there. They didn't go through security the way the rest of us have to go through to get into the Capitol. They were prosecuted. They were convicted. And now they're serving jail time. And he has said repeatedly that they're political prisoners and he is going to spring them, right? What does that tell you about how he's going to weaponize the Justice Department, and on whose behalf? On behalf of people who committed crimes for him.
Hold on, wait. Did the Democrats go after the mostly peaceful rioters that were burning down cities? Did they do that? Okay, then I rest my case. I ain't even got to say much.
For him, not for anybody else.
I mean, I admire your, I don't know if I want to call it naivete or optimism that Trump is going to run on the policies you care about deregulation and tax cuts and whatnot. That's just not what his campaign was about.
Well,
that's not what he has indicated.
With all due respect, I've run more campaigns than you, and I know what campaigns are about, and I know why people walk into voting booths.
Why people walk into voting booths and what Trump plans to do when handed the presidency are two different things.
Yep. I agree with Scott Jennings. They just don't get it. And that's a great sign. Hope y'all got a good laugh out of that, because I know I sure did. These people are so lost in the sauce. It's ridiculous. Like, it is honestly insane how these folks still get on national television and talk the way that they talk. They're just doubling down. They haven't learned their lesson. So, I guess we'll teach them another one come 2028. MAGA, baby. Peace and love. I'm out.